Welcome to The Independent Musician. Our weekly podcast will focus on the independent artist and the music market at large. You'll hear from those artists as well as music execs, tech experts, and marketing leaders from around the globe. We'll discuss what it takes to make it in the biz and how you can overcome obstacles as you progress your craft, all the while making it interesting and fun. Now, here's your host, Mark Skoda.
Hey, this is Mark Skoda with The Independent Musician, and we're glad to have another event here with one of our great artists from Iron Gate Records, Mr. Garrett Huffman. I think the last time I spoke to Garrett, he was just 19 years old. I think you've turned 20 since then, haven't you, Garrett?
Yes, sir, I have.
Well, welcome to the show tonight, and I know that you've been busy, which is why we wanted to talk to you. And I know for the past several months, we haven't heard much from you in terms of actually getting on radio and the podcast. But, it's been remarkable what you've been achieving in the past 6 months. And I'd love to hear a little bit about what you've been doing around your music, your composition. And more importantly, I understand you've got some pretty exciting stuff about a band, I'm hearing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we do. Super excited about that. Yes, sir.
So why don't you tell me a little about what are you doing on the song side? I know it's been a bit since we've released new music, but I do know that you've been in the background working on some new material.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me again. I appreciate this interview and stuff. First off, these past 6 months, I've taken a lot of time trying to find my sound and trying to decide what lane I want to focus on and go down for 2024. And I think we've been doing a whole lot of songwriting and studio work these past 6 months. And I think we finally found a sound and lane that we really like a lot, and we're super excited about it. And these first 5 songs I put out earlier this year, they were kind of a test to see the different genres and to see what people liked. And I'm excited to say that come January, February, we're going to be releasing the first song of this new era and this new lane I decided to go down. And yeah, we're super excited about it and everything.
Yeah, I think you've been in terms of your craft, been really sort of honing your skills. And as we discussed very early on, after much work that you've done during COVID, you had a sound that was a bit of mix of country and some pop and some crossover. And I think, as I even shared with you that time, it would probably be great if you sort of began to focus down on a particular genre or approach to your genre. And I guess that's what you're telling me you've sort of done?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's correct. I think, I'm excited for people to hear it and everything. I said we've been working hard on it, and I think people will be pretty pleased to hear it. So how would you classify your approach now with your music? What genre are you sort of 2 feet in 2 different camps? Yeah, so we decided to go down more of the modern country / country rock side of stuff. Like I said, with this first song we got coming out, it kind of dives into both of those a little bit, and with my releases after that are going to dive more into the country rock side and all that. So,
well, you're there in the Carolinas, and of course that's just a great opportunity for playing that type of music in particular. And I think country rock right now and some of the crossover work, a lot of people have complaints that it's not true country per se, but I'll tell you what, a lot of these guys have been doing pretty well with that approach, haven't they?
Yes, sir. That's right. They have been. So,
well, and I know that when I originally talked to you, I shared with the audience that, you've been doing some extraordinary work. You're a busy young man. You jumped in with both feet and you've been just gigging the heck out of it. What kind of shows have you been playing? How have you been doing and where have you been playing?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you asking that. Yeah, we've been playing all over North and South Carolina and Tennessee. I just hit my 300 show, so we've been super blessed with all the venues allowing us to play there, and all the fans coming out to support. And we got a lot of shows lined up already for 2024 too.
So here's a guy just post-COVID who picked up his guitar during COVID after his brother, frankly, didn't want to. And kind of interestingly, how that all started. You began to
That's right.
teach yourself acoustic guitar and chords and the like, and built a repertoire, as I like to say, four chords it out. But having said that, you've been able to play a lot of popular music, and 300 shows really post-COVID is quite remarkable. I mean, yeah, obviously you had some magic dust, didn't you?
Something like that. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, we've just been we just been super blessed with all the amazing venues and how nice people's been to us to let us come back and play for them every single month. And there's
Well, I
some
think
really
at the end of the day,
cool
it's about a
people.
lot of work, right? I mean, I know that
Yes,
you're
sir. Yeah.
always prospecting. You've worked very hard to get those bookings. And then when you do
Oh,
get the
yes, sir.
booking,
Yeah.
you put on a hell of a show. But I think what's
Thank you.
interesting right now, and I think when I originally talked to you, I said, it'd be kind of cool if you were able to put a band together. And I thought that you said at that time you were sort of interested in doing that. You want to give us an update on what's going on with the band idea?
Yeah, but we're super excited to announce that we finally found everybody. And it took a while to find people that were passionate about it, who were excited to do this journey alongside with me, and to just find just people that were dedicated and that wanted to do it and that were my age. And we have found it. We've already started booking for the next year, and we're going to debut the band actually down at the Carolina Country Music Association Awards down at Myrtle Beach at the House of Blues on January 20th, 2024. So we're super
And you
excited about
actually
that.
have been nominated with one other Iron Guy Records artist for the Entertainer of the Year and Songwriter of the Year, haven't you?
Yes, sir. That's correct. Yeah, we've there's a lot of amazing talent and amazing names in those lists. So I'm super honored to be nominated for those. Yes, sir.
So, what's the name of the band going to be? Is it Garrett Huffman's band, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, we're looking Garrett Huffman band right now, but I've told them if they want to do some other name or anything like Garrett Huffman and the fill in the blank, I'm totally down for that. I guess that'll be up to them if they want to do something. So we'll see.
Yeah, I
If
think
they come
bands
up
are
with anything.
always hard to put together, and egos sometimes get in the way. But of course, you're the front man. You've been the writer, and you've been releasing music. And I think, quite honestly, your bandmates would be lucky to sort of back you, in particular with the kinds of gigs that you're getting and the kinds of gigs you've been working. They'll actually enjoy actually performing as opposed to just being a garage band. So I would tell you, Garrett Huffman band sounds pretty damn good to me.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's probably what we'll roll with, but yeah, we'll see in the future if anything else changes. So
So tell us about sort of the Carolina Country Music Association nomination. How'd that process go? How did you get nominated? Did you have to sort of prospect for that or submit yourself to that? How did that work?
yeah, we did. We submitted ourselves to it this past year, early this year, and yeah, they heard my song "Dreaming" and they liked it a lot, and I was fortunate enough to be on an interview with them on their radio station there, and yeah, they liked my song, and they put us through a competition to get nominated, and we did win that. And yeah, it's the only fan voted award is the Entertainer of the Year, and this is a Facebook voting only. And so how you do it is you go to their group. It's called the Carolina Artist Showdown. You join the group, and then you put a check mark beside of the person, beside of the name you want to vote for. So all the voting takes place from January 1st to January 20th. And yeah, if anybody's listening, a vote would mean so much. And like I said, it's only for the Entertainer of the Year. But yeah, we're super excited about it. It's going to be a fun 20 days.
I know that Greg Parrish is, who you know well, is also on the label. And Greg, I think, won the Entertainer of the Year last year, did he not?
Yes, sir, he did. Yeah, he's been
So I was pretty proud of Iron Gate Records and having that kind of talent. And now you're
oh
on
yeah.
board there. And that's pretty exciting, frankly.
Oh yeah, he's an amazing guy. Yeah, he's been helping me through it, like letting me know what to look forward to, what to do, what not to do. So he's been very, very helpful with giving advice and stuff. So he's an amazing
he's
guy.
he's a good man, and
He
it
is.
is great to be able to hear you suggest that he's being helpful and jumping in for you and giving you some sort of sense on how things work. That's important, and I think when artists help other artists, it's a great thing. And of course, Greg is selfless, and I think frankly, that's one of the reasons he's very successful.
I agree completely. Yes, sir.
So just to sort of lay the plug in here, Carolina Artist Showdown, it's a Facebook page, correct?
Yeah, it's a Facebook group. Yes, sir.
Group. Okay, so if you join Carolina Artist Showdown group, you can vote for Garrett Huffman and, put a check mark next to his name and anybody else you decide to do that with, but that'd be great, and we'd appreciate that. Now, your Spotify, I checked out, you got your new end-of-year Spotify analysis, and frankly, you've done pretty well. I think over 40-some thousand streams and almost 30,000 listeners all across the world. Pretty darn good for a new guy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we've been we were very excited to see those numbers, and we've been super fortunate and blessed with all the people listening, all the nice comments we've got about these 5 songs, and we're very excited to see where we're going to be at this time next year with all these new songs. I think it's going to be pretty cool. So,
it's interesting. I've been posting and recently completed a blog as it relates to what's going on with thresholding by Spotify. And it's going to be very important to continually release new music and to promote your music. As you're probably aware, and for the audience, the major 3, Sony, Warner, and Universal, are really pushing against Spotify for the reimbursement of so many artists, because each and every year their share of disbursements by Spotify have decreased as a percent of total. And that's largely driven by the fact that there is so much music on the Spotify catalog. So right now, what is beginning to occur is the fact that Spotify is going to put thresholds in by which artists won't earn any money at all for their streaming. They're also going to be much more ferocious about ensuring that no one is gaming the system, because we actually discovered many, almost 10% of the streams were fake streams, and they were all earning money. So I think it's going to be very important as an artist to have a label to back you, but also to have the appropriate channels for promotion. You aren't going to be able to buy your streams. You're going to be able to be very clearly oriented towards the organic promotion of your music. And of course, ultimately being able to promote that as well as play it and live. And I think those are the things that are going to become very important for any artist. And of course, as your numbers are looking very positive, the ability to sort of continue that and grow that in the next year, 2024.
Yes, sir. I agree completely. Yeah, I think I'm glad that Spotify is doing that, honestly, because I forgot how many songs are released today. It's like a crazy amount, is it not?
Over
like
60,000 now, and it's
I knew it was some like crazy number.
168 million unique ISRC codes on Spotify today.
That's crazy, is it not? That's just wild to think about.
Yeah, and in fact, that's one of the reasons, and I'll put a plug in for Iron Gate. I'm actually filing a patent for our GeoMelody service, which will hopefully be rolled out at the end of the first quarter, with some special sauce, quite frankly, because I think as we look at streaming generally, there really has been challenges to find new artists and the way you interact with those artists. So we've got some special sauce we've put together. We've actually built the first prototype. I'm excited about it, and will be helpful to our artists as well in the future. But I think streaming is changing. The market's going to continue to change, as we know. Rates have gone up. Spotify has raised its rates. Others have followed. The idea of artist-centric or listener-centric compensation plans have become commonplace, but they're not quite dialed in yet. So there is going to be a lot of turmoil, I think, in 2024 as it relates to compensation schemes for artists and their music, and more importantly, how they're going to be distributed and where they're going to be distributed, and in the end, whether they get plays. So it's going to be important for people to release music regularly, release great music, have a great presentation in terms of their own shows, and ultimately drive their fans to listen and hopefully, comment and support them overall. And I think that is going to be a very interesting year. We've seen streaming rapidly coalesce around sort of the big three as it relates to their artists. That is, the big artists getting the most streams. But on the other hand, there have been some breakouts. There was one artist in Spain, I realized, that just had a very low TikTok presence, was picked up by a label, and he became had the number one worldwide song more recently. The name escapes me, but having said that,
Oh, wow.
I think breakout artists are still happening, so that's exciting.
Oh,
and of course, we just saw Taylor Swift be Person of the Year for Time Magazine, given her Eras tour and the first $1 billion tour. Amazing phenom in her own right. So it is interesting.
Wild. Yes, sir, it is. I agree completely.
So as it looks, go ahead.
Oh, I would say it would be interesting to see what happens with it all next year, and as it continues to grow with Spotify and how they change stuff, and the world's always changing. So it'll be, I mean, even like with all this AI stuff coming, I mean, you just never know where it's going to lead. It's a new thing every day, it seems. So.
Yeah, and I think, we've been doing some of the integration of AI into our services, and we've recently, as you know, acquired the North American business for 3 Rare Designs, and so we're adding a whole series of capabilities. We just published our 2024 services and pricing update on our website, and we've launched the IGR Artist Development Program, which will be for new and young up-and-coming artists to give them more hand-holding and more support, which I think is important as well. And at the end of the day, this whole technology play is most important for artists. And I think artists have to recognize that they have to engage at a level of technology using artificial intelligence, AI chatbots, and API integration to those chats, et cetera, to help them get their message out, to get their music out, and ultimately to get their promotion out.
That's the future. Yes, sir.
So what can we expect from you in 2024? Obviously, you got your band put together. You're going to launch that here at the end of January at the Carolina Artist Showdown, which is kind of exciting. I hope they'll be able to record that. It'd be great to hear your band together for the first time. What else?
Yeah, well, we're going to come out the gate firing, like I said, with our first release sometime in the January, February time frame of this new era. We're going to be doing, and a whole lot of acoustic shows, like you said, band shows, which we're super excited about, and some more writing, studio work, and I just wanted to thank you two personally on here on the air, just for everything you've done for us, and we're excited to be with y'all in 2024 and excited to see where it leads. So thank y'all so much for all y'all's help and stuff.
It's a lot of fun. As you look sort of at your journey, sort of on the way it started, as we described from the point of view of just picking up your brother's guitar after he decided he wasn't going to do much with it. And here you are today, on your way with your career. Have you found the journey as exciting as you thought? Is it harder than you thought, or are you just having so much damn fun that you don't care?
Yeah, I appreciate that that question. Yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. I absolutely love it. I love the coolest part to me is the songwriting stage of, I know a lot of people have said it before, just like forming an idea out of nothing and trying to form the puzzle pieces right to make the puzzle. It's a really interesting process with the studio work, with all the trying to find the sound for it. So that's been the funnest part. But yeah, looking back, it's been an unbelievable journey. It's a whole lot of work. I didn't know how much work behind the scenes it took, but yeah, it takes a lot. And I've been very blessed to have an amazing team and amazing people around me to help me. And but it's been a whole lot of fun so far. So.
I think music, I realize that so many people wonder whether they can make a living at it. And it is always hard. But as I like to always say, you find those 1,000 super fans that spend $100 a year with you, whether it's tickets to your shows or buy a few downloads or buy some merch from you. And, you can actually do and make a living on this. And I think what's happening now is live venues are becoming more prevalent. People bars, restaurants, small music venues are all realizing, with all the talent that's out there, that people want to hear live music because it is soothing to the soul and it is a social contact sport, right?
I agree. Yeah.
And then
It takes a break
secondly,
too out of the week, out of the out of their busy week, work week and stuff. So
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
And they can enjoy a good meal, and they can listen to some live music, maybe go and have a
exactly.
few drinks and unwind. And I think live music in particular, a great performance is really an enjoyable event for anybody. And I think when we look, and I've talked about this before, when we look at social media generally, right? You can't actually make contact with each other. You're engaged in terms of some of your comments and discussion, but you don't really make that contact that you would have otherwise in a in-person relationship. That is, there was a psychologist I've talked about who did a study, and he talks about the fact that oxytocin is secreted when we are with each other, when we either look in each other's eyes or share a pat on the back or a touch or a handshake, because at that point in time, those things cause us to have a social bond. That doesn't happen even with video. It does not happen in social media. And so the ability to sort of bring people together and share an experience, and to watch them, as I like to say, bopping their heads in unison as they're enjoying a beat to the song or dancing or yahooing. It's all fun, and particularly for the artist and frankly for the listener as well. And particularly a good artist like yourself, who's fun and has a band now and is up there and doing the very best they can to entertain, is just a terrific experience for everybody involved.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I agree completely. Yeah, it's even around here in the Carolina, there's such a great fan base for live music where people just go out just to listen to it. I mean, there's several just like Facebook groups around us that just post all the live music in the whole area. I mean, it's like over 30, 40 different people, and these people take time out of their day to make those lists for other people to go see it and go enjoy it and stuff. So yeah, there's a great fan base around here for it, and I think that's at a whole lot of different places too in the world.
Indeed, and I think that's from my point of view, why music will still sustain. And yes, it's going to change continually, but in the end, we'll see people still enjoying music and musicians. And I realize a lot of artists right now are concerned about what's happening with regard to the implications of AI, but I think that'll get sorted out. And honestly, I haven't heard an AI yet that's done a good song, right? To be sure,
that's right.
There's a lot of music being produced that way, but it's not very interesting. And oh, by the way, nobody's going to go to a bar or a restaurant or a venue and have a computer sit up front and sing a song to you. So, as I said, I think AI though can be helpful, particularly to songwriting process. It can help you overcome writer's block, maybe even give you a sense of a melody that might be interesting. And in that sense, I think artists who are smart enough to use AI in a collaborative fashion with their artistry will probably get a lot of benefit as well. And of course, we hear all the horror stories, but I think, quite frankly, AI is not quite as smart as everybody likes to think about it at the moment. But more importantly, I think it's a great tool to help artists become better, or even help them overcome, as I said, that writer's block, or find that new melody, or even just work through a song themselves.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think it'd be a very useful tool in the future and stuff for people. But as always, they'll probably try to do something with it to make it crazy. But
that's right. So, looking at Christmas and New Year's, are you playing a New Year's show at all?
I think so. Yeah. Let me. I don't know exactly where I'm playing at. I think I do have a show there somewhere. It's on my calendar. It's on my Instagram and Facebook and everything. So I
can you tell everybody what your website is and your social media handles, please?
Yeah, so everything on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything is under Garrett Huffman Music. And then my website is garretthuffman.com. And I've got everything posted on there under the events tab on my website. And then on Facebook and Instagram, I just posted my calendar for December. So
folks, you want to support a great young artist who's up and coming, who's working hard, get out there to GarrettHuffman.com or check out any of his social media, like his page, Garrett Huffman Music, or follow him on Instagram or check out his TikToks. And I think you'll enjoy Garrett's music, his vocals. He's a good looking guy too. And I think his girlfriend sometimes may get jealous, but that's the way life is in the music lane.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Garrett, thanks very much for your time tonight. We appreciate it and look forward to having you back on again. And this is Mark Skoda with the independent musician and Mr. Garrett Huffman, artist for Iron Gate Records and up-and-coming star in country rock. Thank you, Garrett.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Thanks for joining us this week on The Independent Musician. Make sure to visit our website, IronGateRecordsRadio.com, where you can subscribe to the show on your favorite streaming platform so you'll never miss an episode. While you're at it, if you found value in this podcast, we'd appreciate you giving us feedback or simply tell a friend about the show. Be sure to tune in next week for a new episode of The Independent Musician, where the independent musician is the star.